I can hear myself through Restream, mate. Well, hello everybody, and as you can see, welcome back to Donner's Park. Yes, the heavens have opened a little bit during the lunch break, so I've decided to put my tent on to keep myself as dry as possible, as you can see. Big thank you to Leon for sorting me out with this, I think, anyway. Anyway, it's better than getting soaking wet, isn't it? It is now time for Cockshoot Cup Race 1 here live at Donington Park. As you can see, the cars lining up. Let's go have a chat with Paul Wignall here. Nobody wants to line up in front. There's Keith, we'll have a word with him. Paul, nobody wants to line up in front of you, do they?
Well, they're all terrified today.
Default pole then.
yeah, I wish. Oh, hang on, well, we've been had off at last minute.
I just saw a car actually in the garage as I walked past, so he's pushing it a bit. How was it out there during qualifying? Because I know it was slippy. It's going to be similar conditions now, I think, actually, isn't it?
I know, I'm on intermediates again, hoping for the best, just to get a reasonable time in.
Yeah.
That's all I can do.
Exactly. So would you like these sorts of conditions, or because it's the same for everybody?
Like wet,
so
wet or dry?
Well,
completely torrential, I like, or dry.
Nobody likes it in between, do they?
No, it's not
Nobody.
Good.
Nobody.
Not good.
Thanks for talking to us, mate. Best luck. Do you want me to shut your door for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. I'll put him in. Sponsorship wanted, by the way, so please do check it out. Here is Keith Eagar. Let's have a word with Keith as well. Keith, I didn't think Carl was going to turn up then. It looks like you were going to be on pole for a bit, didn't it?
Yeah, he's obviously leaving it late to decide on the tyres, so I've changed them a few times. I've got sicker looking, so I'm hoping that it's going to be dry. I've got slicks, so what's it looking like? Is it blue out the back there?
I'll let you figure that one out. It's not too bad. Yeah, I better let you go now. Thanks for talking to us, mate. Best of luck. That's how quick it is. We're going straight away. Oh, how you doing? A few squeaky bums out there, I think, because conditions quite greasy, quite slippy, aren't they? Nobody really knows what to go on. Keep an eye on Keith Eagar. He is on slicks. Here comes Mark Wright, by the way. He's going to line up alongside Carl Green, who is on pole position. The 30-second board goes up. Almost time for race 1 of the Cockshoot Cup. We are live here at Donington Park. We're going to bring you race 2 later, and there's drama because it has been wet here. We have had a downpour over the lunch break just to spice things up, and the cars are making their way out. Keith Eagar looks like caught out a little bit there. A lot of the cars are a little bit late to the assembly area, but here they go, out on track now, and what a great sight these Cockshoot Cup cars make. We've been doing quite a lot of Cockshoot Cup over the last 18 months or so, and it's a pleasure to be back here live. It's a better track for us, actually. We are going to make our way down. Whilst we do head down, let's just put that grid order up on the screen for you from qualifying a little bit earlier. So that's how the cars are going to line up, and I'm pleased to say, actually, we're going to take the brolly down, aren't we, Lynn? Because we think, actually, the rain has just stopped. So that's how things looked a little bit earlier. We've still got Cockshoot Cup cars coming down now to line up in assembly and get out on track. So we might have a little bit of a delayed start. Now, we heard from Paul Wignall there. We just heard from Keith Eagar. And a little bit earlier, we went into Parc Fermé after qualifying and had another word with some of the drivers. And here's what they had to say after qualifying for the Cockshoot Cup earlier today. So here we are in Parc Fermé for the Cockshoot Cup. Don't forget, we've got both races to bring you today as well. So Rob just put it in as well. Let's go and have a quick chat over here, actually, because we've got Joseph Jones here. Let's have a chat with him. Joseph, you've got to go already, have you, mate?
Yeah, I've got to call forward.
Go on in, we'll follow you. Cheers, mate. There you go. And says on the side, thank you for Marshal, of course, the orange man. Cheers, buddy. maybe. Let's find out how it was out there. Joseph, how was it out there, mate? Was it slippy?
Yeah, it's pretty slippy, but I think I chose the wrong tyres. I went for all wets when I was looking at the sky earlier.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think they were a bit slower in the dry, but...
Did you see any cars ahead of you who weren't on the full wets, and were they getting a bit out of sorts at times, or
yeah,
in control?
A couple of midgets spinning in front of me and stuff like that. Yeah, it's quite pretty slippy out there, yeah.
It looks a lot of fun in one of these. What's it like taking this round Donington when it's a bit unpredictable, shall we say?
Yeah, Craner curves are interesting, yeah. It's good fun, Good fun.
Yeah. Mate, thanks for talking to us, really appreciate it. So best of luck, of course, we got your race. Do you want me to shut this for you? You're alright. Yeah, it's quite hot in there, isn't it? Let's go have a quick chat with somebody as well whilst we're over here. Hello everybody, how was it out there? Alright?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's not as wet as it looks.
Do you know what? I've spoken to a lot of drivers this morning. Of course, naturally, it's always a theme, isn't it? When it chucks it down in the morning, how is the track, etc. And I spoke to the Metros, because they're probably a bit lighter than these, and they said, "Oh, it's really, really tough out there, really, really slippy."
Yeah.
The first person I said, actually, that was all right.
Yeah, actually, you know, it's just being brave enough to sort of think, forget that it's wet, and just, you know, I'm actually, the places where it's flat in the dry, it was flat in the wet. So.
What tyres did you go for? Did you go full wet?
The dries. I'm too mean. The problem with the wets is they're very expensive and they wear out quick. So
that would be my reason as well.
There has to be swans swimming around on the track before I use them.
Has to be a lake, you know. What are you looking forward to? Looking forward to the race?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It's going to be dry, isn't it?
I think so.
Well,
actually, to be honest, I quite like it to be slightly damp because the midgets can struggle a bit with them.
That's true. So. They can go swimming, can't they?
The advantage of having a long, stable car is that they're a bit less twitchy and a bit less,
Absolutely.
hard to drive in the damp.
Well, thanks for talking to us, really appreciate it. Best of luck, of course, we will see you for the race. Let's keep moving around, shall we? Let's go have a chat over here. Number 12. How you doing? Are you alright? It's good to see you.
Not so bad, how's things?
Yeah, not. Okay, take it down. So there you go, we had to just call that a little bit short, because as you can see the cars are just now starting to line up here at Donington Park. We've got the best possible view we can bring for you here. Leon? We are live at Donington, the cars just making their way in now. Safety car just pulled its way in. What a sight these Cockshoot Cup cars make. Carl Green, a man in pole position, funnily enough. We just walked past him actually on the way up to assembly area, still in the garage. A bit of last minute work going on. Let's hope everything's okay there. So, Carl Green on pole position. Mark Wright alongside him in the MGF Cup car. Keith Eager in third place, car number 4. Paul Wignall, we just heard from him, he's in 4th. Aaron Jackson 5th, although I actually believe Aaron Jackson is not lined up for this race. I'm pretty confident I saw him come into the media centre actually where we're based. I'll double check that for you, but I don't believe we have Aaron Jackson. Connor Flynn in 6th place, Christopher Greenbank in 7th, Tony Roberts in 8th, David Morrison in 9th, John Payne 10th, David Greenbank in 11th, Mark Bellamy in 12th, Colin Stubbs 13th, David Coulthard in 14th, not that one, Tom Mensley in 15th, Reece Higginbottom in 18th, Leon Wignall in 17th, Tom Church 18th, Andrew Greenbank 19th, Carl Chadwick 20th. Then we've got Joseph Jones, Phil Rigby, Helen Waddington, John Spencer and Ian Witt. They are your 25 runners and riders. The lights are on. It's almost time to get going here. Cockshoot Cup Race 1 is underway. Looks like it's a good start from Mark Wright in the MGF Cup car, and I think he's going to take the lead. Carl Green just a little bit bogged down off the start, but we know he's going to have power down a straight. Paul Wignall alongside 2, but it looks like it's Mark Wright who leads round Redgate into turn 1, and I think Paul Wignall goes up to 2nd place as well. It's going to be slippy, it's going to be treacherous down there, but I think everybody gets round Redgate safely. Great stuff indeed. Let's hope so. I'm not seeing any wave yellow. Oh no, we do have a spinner, but it's straight back on again. One of the MGF cars, the white one, it's just spun, but it's back straight back on. Good stuff indeed. Nice clean racing. Of course, we're going to follow the action. It's the national circuit. It's the slightly shorter one here at Donington Park. That's good for us. It's good for you too, because it means the action is going to come thick and fast. Well, we weren't with the Cockshoot Cup at Silverstone GP just because Silverstone's an absolute monster of a track, isn't it? It is huge, but here we've got better vantage points. And I'll tell you something, I think Paul Wignall's taken the lead of the race. Yes, he has. Paul Wignall leads from Mark Wright. Green, it looks like Carl Green has dropped down to 3rd place and he's struggling massively because I think it looks like, is it Bellamy might be getting it past him too? Oh my word, what a great opening lap. And it's gone the way of Paul Wignall, who's jumped into the lead of this race. So coming down the back straight now, We're going to give you the best possible view that we can. This is the Cockshoot Cup live. It's race 1. It's a thriller here at a damp Donington. The conditions are tricky. Some drivers have gone for intermediate, some have gone for slicks. Keith Eagar, he is on the slicks. Let's see how he gets on. There goes Wignall. He's made the right choice. We know he's on the intermediates right in second. There goes Mark Bellamy. He's like Carl Green from pole down to fourth. 15 going through 2. Now, I don't think there is Eagar. So Keith Eagar has dropped down quite a bit to perhaps those slicks, not quite yet able. But as this race progresses and the track dries, because the sun is, well, not quite out, but there's no rain at the minute, could Keith Eagar come through right at the end and win this race? This is going to be an absolute thriller. It really is. So lap 1 is done for the Cockshoot Cup this weekend live at Donington Park. And it is Paul Wignall leading the way from right in second. Bellamy, what a start. He's up to 3rd. Green down to 4th. Payne is 5th. Greenbank in 6th. Stubbs is 7th. Roberts in 8th. Then we've got Greenbank in 9th. The number 66 car. Morrison in 10th. Higginbotham 11th. Keith Eagar's dropped all the way down to 12th. Then we've got Leo Wignall in 13th. Then Jones, Coulthard, Rigby, Flynn, Greenbank, Mensley, Waddington, Spencer, Church. And we've lost Chadwick, unfortunately, from this race. And it looks to me, I think Mark Bellamy's now up to 3rd place, if I'm looking correctly. It looks like Bellamy's up to 3rd place. At the minute, it looks like the intermediate tyres were the right way to go. And it's Paul Wignall who's extending his lead quite comfortably at the minute. So it is Wignall right, Bellamy green. Looks like it's the same as it was at the end of lap 1. They've still got to navigate the chicane. There is your race leader, Paul Wignall. He has got a solid lead at the minute, hasn't he? There is Mark Wright. There is Bellamy, who's shot through the field in the yellow 44 car. I know another driver of number 44 who'll be hoping to do something similar tomorrow as well up at Silverstone. But right now here we are, and there is a bit of a dry line forming already, it looks like. Keep your eye on car number 4, Keith Eagar, the red. It's just coming through now with a white roof. There he goes, qualified high up the order in 4th place, dropped down quite a bit. We know he's on the slicks. He told us that. He's only going to get quicker and quicker and quicker with 15 minutes of this race still to go. So we've lost Chadwick, number 52, from this race. So far, Paul Wignall, fastest lap on lap 2, of course, 1:36.166. His closest challenger, right, 1:37.793. Bellamy was quicker though than Wright on that lap as well, a 1:37.237, so almost half a second. Lot to play for here. There goes Church just through, so we've lost Chadwick from this race, as we said. I'm not seeing any wave to yellow, so hopefully it's safely off the side of the track somewhere. And it's still Wignall, Paul Wignall, number 5, leading the way here for the Cockshoot Cup. And I'm feeling spits of rain again. This could work quite nicely, I think, for Wignall. We know he's on the intermediates. And if the bit more rain does come, this could play really into his hands, couldn't it? It really could. So Wignall right, Bellamy green, Payne, Greenbank, number 19, Robert Stubbs, Greenbank, car 66, Higginbotham. There's your top 10. There goes your race leader, Paul Wignall through. There is, here comes Mark Bellamy. Sorry, that was Mark Wright just going through. Paul Wignall started in 4th place, by the way, into the lead of the race. Keith Eagar started 3rd. He dropped down the order a little bit. We have no Aaron Jackson, as we've said before. We're just feeling a few spits of rain, nothing particularly severe. We hope it holds off, actually. We don't really want to have to pick the brolly up, but we will if we need to. We've got car number 19, the Greenbanks for you, by the way, because there's a few of them. It's car number 19 is Christopher Greenbank. Car number 66 is David Greenbank. And car number 55 is Andrew Greenbank. Oh, looks like we've got somebody going slow. We have. And it's Helen Waddington pulls into the pits. So Helen Waddington into the pits. Let's hope it's nothing too serious. Have a quick check, get the car back out on track and finish this race. So Wignall, right, Bellamy, top 3 as they were last time. Carl Green in 4th. The same Payne is 5th. Roberts is now up to 6th at the expense of Greenbank, number 19, who drops down to 7th. Stubbs is in 8th. Higginbotham up to 9th, Flynn up to 10th, Greenbank number 66 is down to 11th. Then we've got Leon Wignall same in 13th, Jones, Egar, Coulthard are 14th, 15th, 16th respectively. Then Mensley, Rigby, Greenbank, Spencer, Waddington, as we know, out well in the pits. We don't know out for certain. Church going round, and Chadwick out of this race, the 23rd car. So we still have 22 cars. 21 currently circulating. Oh, and I can say Helen Waddington, she does call into Park Ferme. So Helen Waddington is now out of this race. We still have 21 of the 23 runners and riders for race 1 of the Cockshoot Cup here live. If you want to find out more about the MGCC Cockshoot Cup and why on earth would you not want to, there is a link in the body of this broadcast. Give it a click, it will take you straight through to the Cockshoot Cup website. Find out all the information you want to get involved, then we would love to hear from you. Now if you're watching on YouTube as well over at Live Sport now, make sure you comment in the chat section, because we can see the comments. We can even put them on screen. Wherever you're watching from, do comment. We do look back at them. We do go through. We know the MG Car Club do too. However, if you want to have your say shown on screen, head over to Live Sport now on YouTube. That's our YouTube channel. Again, there is a link in the body of this broadcast. Make sure you hit subscribe. In the chat section, comment. We can show it on screen. Tell us who you're supporting. Tell us where you're watching from. We want to hear from you. And look at that. We've got 3 or 4 cars on the right-hander at the top of the hill. They're just going round, and we all managed to get through safely. It is still Wignall. It's flying, by the way, at the minute at 1:31.813 last time round. Fastest man on the track. Paul Wignall is flying right now. He's got a 4-second lead last time over the line over Mark Wright. Mark Bellamy in 3rd and Cole Green in 4th. There goes your race leader. He's just gone over the line. Number 5, there is Mark Wright, currently in 2nd place in the MGF Cup car. And quite a bit of a gap now, isn't there? What's happened to Mark Bellamy? Because he was getting close. There is Bellamy. There is Carl Green. And oh my word, look at this. We've got some wonderful action now. Flynn. Here's the flying Flynn. He really is going for this, isn't he? Flynn absolutely on the move in the MGF. Seen something on it. Looks like Church has got a penalty of some sort. So Flynn is on the move up to 5th place now. Payne has dropped down to 7th. Roberts stays the same. Higginbotham at Greenbank 9th. Number 19 Greenbank. Stubbs stays in 10th place. Morrison is on the move and now up to 11th. Egar stays in 15th. Egar, of course, qualified 3rd. Now running in 15th. Is running the slick tyres. So far, it's not quite working out. It's still 9 minutes of this race to go. Can the track clear a bit? There's a few spits and spats dropping down, but it's not enough at all. It's just a very, very, very light drizzle, incredibly light. So Wignall even faster that time around, a 1:39.34. Is he going to be able to hang on to this? At the minute, he certainly can. He's got a nearly 5-second lead over Mark Wright, 4.972. We're just seeing Spencer go through your screen there, currently running in 20th place. Just completed his 5th lap. Through he goes, and your race leader just goes through as well, about to catch a couple of the back markers there. There goes Wright. Wright just can't quite get close. In fact, drop back a little bit further as well, 6 seconds that lap, because the reason is Paul Wignall went even faster on that lap, at 1:29.592. My word, Wignall is flying. And look at Flynn as well, talking to drivers who are flying, now starting to apply a lot of pressure to the back of Carl Green. Can he get through? And Bellamy's oh no, what's happened to Bellamy? Bellamy's dropped back, as you can see. So Bellamy's plunged down the field on that last lap, from 3rd down to 6th. So Green moves up into 3rd, Flynn moves up to 4th, Roberts moves up to 5th, Bellamy drops down to 6th, taking the bottom. Greenbank, Stubbs, Morrison all move up a place as well. Payne drops down to 11th place. Leon Wignall stays 12th. Egar's on the move, up from 15th up to 13th now. Are those slicks starting to come in? Is there a bit of a dry line forming? Are we going to see a late charge by Keith Egar in this race? There's still 7.5 minutes left to go. There's still time. There's still time here at Donington. We could be on for an absolute thriller. I just wonder if Paul Wignall's tyres are at some point just going to get a little bit too high. It looks like Mark Bellamy's making a move as well. He is. So Bellamy looking like he's trying to make up a place or two. I could just see Mark Wright down the bottom of the back straight, and as we would expect, there goes Paul Wignall. He is your outright race leader. What does he do over the line this time? It's 7 minutes on the clock. He's absolutely flying, a 1:27.321. He is absolutely flying. Wright goes over the line now. He slipped back to nearly 8 seconds behind the leader, 7.929. Spencer's been lapped. And here comes Flynn. Look at that side of flying. Flynn has absolutely taken 3rd place. from Carl Green. Carl Green drops back to 4th. Roberts going very well. Bellamy coming under an awful lot of pressure as well. So I think Higginbotham putting a load of pressure onto the back of Bellamy. Higginbotham trying to go round Redgate, not going to get it done just yet, but maybe on this time around, who knows. Bellamy going backwards here. Dave Greenbank just going through, just keeping ahead of Joseph Jones. We caught up with Joseph Jones a little bit earlier in Parc Ferme. So keep an eye on car number 20, Flynn, absolutely flying. Connor Flynn started in 6th place, is now up to 3rd, and he's really lighting up Donington Park. We've got 6 minutes left until the checkered flag falls. Once the checkered flag does fall, we're going to give you, of course, the classified results according to TSL, and we're going to stay live as well because we will have the race 1 of the BCV8 Championship to bring you. We're probably about half an hour away right now from that, but don't worry, we're not going to cut off, we're going to stay live. And here come the cars now. There goes Mark Wright. He is absolutely flying as well, but he can't quite get enough to catch Paul Wignall, who just does fastest lap after fastest lap after fastest lap. That last time was a 1:26.926, although Wright did his fastest lap of the race as well last time, a 1:27.190. But it is Carl Green now who's started to fire on too. Carl Green goes fastest of anybody with a 1:25.902. Are we about to see a charge from Carl Green late in this race? He started on pole position. He's dropped back to 4th. He's now back up to 3rd. Can he go all the way? It's a big ask, isn't it? I don't know if there's going to be enough time. But are we going to see tyres play a big factor at the end of this race? There goes Keith Eagart coming in 13th, and he's still in 13th, 49 seconds off the lead. He qualified in 3rd place. Conditions very similar to this though. In fact, conditions are a little bit wetter than this. To be fair, the track was a little bit slippier in qualifying. But we have had that downpour during the lunch break, which just made a lot of drivers think twice. 4.5 minutes to go. Wignall, Wright, Green, Flynn, Roberts, Bellamy, Morrison, Higginbotham, Greenback, number 19, Stubbs. That's your top 10. Then from 11 down, Payne, Wignall, Eagard, Greenback, Jones, Mensley, Coulter, Greenback 55, Rigby, Spencer, Church. We've lost Waddington and Chadwick from this race. We have 21 of the 23 starters still circulating Donington Park here for race 1 of the MGCC Cockshoot Cup. We are live, and it is an absolute stormer, as it always is with the Cockshoot Cup. Now Flynn all over the back of Carl Green as they're going to head into Redgate. I'll keep eyes on it whilst you're watching what's happening. And not this time, but Flynn is going very well indeed. Roberts in 5th place too. Bellamy just does seem to be going backwards. We've lost Bellamy dropping back quite significantly. Morrison is passed. It looks like Greenbank is passed. And Payne looking to make a move too. Look at him, almost 3 abreast into Redgate. It looks quite slippy down there. They all managed to avoid each other, which is great stuff. It looks like, I think somebody ran a little bit wide, and that allowed Bellamy just to cut straight back in again. The rain is starting to fall a bit now. I'm starting to feel it. We might have to put the brolly up, I think, now, because it is getting wet now. And it's started to come down quite a bit heavier again. This should work out perfectly for Paul Wignall. He's absolutely played a blind. I'm just seeing him come round the final corner now. He's going to come into a shot very shortly. As our brolly goes up too. Just bear with us. There we go. You might even be able to see on the broadcast the state of play with the weather. It's just suddenly decided to deteriorate quite rapidly here, and everybody's going to have to be very tentative. Who knows what can happen? We are in the closing stages of this race now. 2 minutes on the clock. That is it, and it's still Wignall leading the way. Your comments in in, tell us who you're supporting. Bellamy's made up a couple of places again on this lap. It's been, what an eventful race it's been for Mark Bellamy. We'll see if we can catch up with him a little bit later in assembly area ahead of race 2. Greenbank, car number 19, has dropped down to 8. Morrison down to 9, Stubbs down to 10th. So it's Wignall, Wright, Green, Flynn, Roberts, Bellamy, Higginbottom, Greenbank, Morrison, Stubbs. That's your top 10. Then 11 down, we have Payne, Leon, Wignall, Egar still in 13th, then Greenbank 66, Mensley, Jones, Coulthard, Greenbank 55, Rigby, Church, Spencer, and as we said a couple of times already, we have lost, unfortunately, Helen Waddington and Chadwick from this race. We have 1 minute left on the clock here. As Mark Wright just laps Phil Rigby there. That's not for position. Carl Green in 3rd place, starting on pole, up to 3rd, not too bad. Just holding off Connor Flynn. I think the rain might have helped Green a little bit, and it's just stunted Connor Flynn's assault here. Now, will we get another lap, or will this be it? I'm just trying to see. I've got Roberts coming over the line now. I'm going to keep an eye on the checkered flag, because it could fall at any moment. We've been caught out already once today, first race of the day. It looks like the checkered flag is being readied. And are we going to see it waved this time round here at Donington Park? There's only 10 seconds left on the clock. I've got a feeling it's going to come out. It will come out now. So unless something dramatic has happened at the end of this race, it is going to be Paul Wignall who is going to take the race win here. What a race it has been for Paul. We caught up with him a little bit earlier on the grid. Said it's almost a default pole. Nobody wanted to be up there with him until a late turn up from Carl Green. Here he comes, Paul Wignall, number 5, comes over the line and wins the Cockshoot Cup. Race 1 here at Donington Park. Oh, it looks like Connor Flynn has got a penalty. He's done the fastest over the race, so 1:25.041, but Connor Flynn has a penalty. So we have to see where that drops him down, because obviously he's not crossed over the line yet. Here comes Mark Wright in car number 8. He comes over and takes 2nd place. Carl Green comes over the line and takes 3rd. There goes Connor Flynn. He takes 4th, but it looks like he's got some sort of penalty, so we'll have to keep our eyes peeled on that. Now we're waiting for Roberts, the red number 21 car. The rain is really coming down once again here at Donington Park. It started to stream quite heavy again. I'll tell you something, that's going to make people think this afternoon, isn't it? Here comes Roberts now, Tony Roberts over the line. Strong performance from him. He finishes in 5th place. Is it going to be Bellamy? Yes, it is. Number 44, the yellow car. He comes home in 6th place. Higginbottom comes home, follows him closely in 7th. We've got Chris Greenbank there in 8th. Stubbs in 9th. And it's going to be, it's not going to be Payne. No, it's going to be Morrison. So Morrison on the last lap gets past Payne, sneak into the top 10. Still a fair few cars come over. We've got, here comes Leon Wignall now. He's going to come over the line, finish 12th overall. We're still waiting for Keith Egar, who spent a lot of the race in 13th. That's where he's going to finish. Started in 3rd, dropped back quite a bit. Dave Greenbank just coming over the line. He's going to finish in 14th. We've got Mensley as well in the blue MGF. He's going to finish in 15th. Now we're just waiting for the orange MGF of Joseph Jones. And here he comes now. So Joseph Jones, car number 53, the final car to take the checkered flag. And whilst they do that, let's just pop TSL up onto the screen for you so you can see how this thriller here at Donington Park finished up for race 1 of the Cockshoot Cup live for you. It has been so enjoyable. Hey, the best thing about it, we've got to do all again a little bit later this afternoon. The rain here has thrown a curveball in. It's going to create drama this afternoon. You don't want to miss it, and you don't have to. Don't forget, best place to watch this coverage is over on YouTube at Live Sport Now. There's a link in the body of this broadcast. Just give it a click. It'll take you straight through. Make sure you hit subscribe too. You can watch live motorsport in 2022, the MG Car Club. You can watch a quick classic racing. You can watch the BRSCC. We've even got the BMW Car Club Summerfest coming up back here, actually, at Donington Park in August. So a lot to be bringing you. So the cars just making their way down back to Parc Fermé. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get down there. It's quite a way here. That's why we bring you the assembly area interviews post-race. So, of course, we will catch up with him after ahead of their race 2 a little bit later too. If you like what you've seen at the Cockshoot Cup as well, don't forget, do give a click. There's a link in the body of this broadcast too to the Cockshoot Cup website. So the cars just making our way down the pit lane here at Donington. If you've got a question, please do comment below. We can see the comments. We want to hear from you. We do want to know where you're watching from today. Are you at home? Are you at work? Are you out and about? Are you here at Donington? If you are, give us a wave. We're at the Goddard Suite section. If you're in the grandstand next to us, give us a wave. And if you're in the grandstand next to us, why are you watching the live stream for? No one's waved. Right, so the last few cars just making their way down. Joseph Jones just coming in underneath is in the very, very attractive orange MGF with the Jones number plate on the back. The rain is really streaming down quite heavy now, isn't it? We spoke to a lot of the Metro drivers earlier and the MG Cup drivers. Nobody likes these conditions. Nobody. Every driver we spoke to from the Cockshoot Cups, from the BCV8s, from the Metro Cup, from the MG Cup, no one likes these half conditions. They either want it to be wet, or dry. And at the minute, it's neither. So calm before the storm. We are going to stay live now. We do have race 1 of the BCV8 Championship to bring you in a bit. I believe there is a race to go before we come back. Let's just pop that classified back on the screen for you so you can see how things have finished up. If you missed it the first time, congratulations though. Do go to Paul Wignall. It is almost time for the Laxford Engineering MG Sprite and Midget Challenge race. Well, we're not actually going to bring you that race. You can see the safety car just going around Donington Park just to make sure everything is safe. All the drivers are away. So let's take TSL down. So that is how things finished up. Now we're going to make our way back over to the assembly area because it's not long. The Midget Sprite cars are going to head out on track, but we're not actually going to cover them for you. We are going to bring you race 1 of the BCV8 Championship as soon as that falls. Whilst we make our way back to assembly area, you may remember that last month it was MG Live at Silverstone and it was a wonderful, wonderful weekend. The weather played its part, unlike here today. And we went for a little walk at one point at the infield and we caught up with MG Motors to have a little look at a couple of range of their cars. Let's have a little look for MG Motors at MG Live 2022. Oh, hi everyone, didn't see you there. Just polishing up the old girl here. Welcome back to MG Live, everybody. But we wanted to give you a real look at the car. There's somebody, I wonder if we can have a quick word actually with this gentleman here. We were just admiring the cars. Is this yours, sir?
It is.
Tell me more about it.
Well, I like a classic car.
Yeah.
And I was at a classic car auction site about 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
Saw a YB for sale.
Yeah.
Didn't know anything about them. Took advice from the MGY Register, who are the most wonderful group of people.
Yep.
Got information, saw them for sale, bought it.
Wow.
It sat for 2 years doing nothing during COVID, and now I'm going out whenever I can.
Fantastic.
And it's the oldest roadworthy YB.
Wow, wow.
1952.
And how does it run? Does it still
Beautifully.
run well?
Has not missed a beat.
It looks absolutely
it's wonderful.
Fantastic. I won't ask you to fire it up because I know it's you need to keep them going, don't you, really? Are you sure? Oh, yeah. Fantastic. There we go. Lovely stuff, thank you. Oh, it just purrs, doesn't it?
Every time.
If you can hear that. It just purrs, absolutely purrs.
It is so reliable.
And here we go. and off we go. It looks like a very good start from Neil Fowler as well. And it's Fowler going on and on. They've got it. Who's going to do it? Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Fowler? It's Neil Fowler who takes the lead around the first corner here. Look absolutely incredible, don't they? Look at that. Fully kitted up. Wow, they are nice. I'd quite like to take one of those around Silverstone. I don't know about you. So let's keep on going, shall we? I'm just going to see these guys. Which car are you going to let me take home then, guys? Which car?
Any car where you want.
Which is your favourite out of these?
I think in the category Didi.
Oh,
yeah,
fantastic.
Boss, yeah.
Your boss?
Yeah, she is my boss. Seriously, she is my boss.
He's doing a great job, by the way. Promotion.
Otherwise, I got a fire, you know, if you got me.
Get fired, I don't think so. Are you having a good time here at MG Live?
Yeah, definitely. I'm from MG Moto in UK. We are back to with a family together to make it something bigger.
I was just looking around the range of cars actually. It's gone through a real modern feel, hasn't it, MG Motors, over the last few years?
Especially though that's the new version.
Yeah, the blue one. Yep.
Just recently launching in January.
Can we have a little look around it? Is that okay?
Certainly.
Yeah, thank you very much. We are, just so you know, we are live across the MG Car Club platforms at the minute as well as a number of motorsport platforms. We are.
You're making me popular.
I'm making you world famous. Come round, Leo. Let's show the inside of this car. Tell us more about it. What is it? Obviously it's an electric car, so tell us more about the spec.
This is a fully electric car, which we just recently launched in January. It's around like 250 miles.
Yeah. It's the MG ZS EV. By the way, with this, you get I'm just reading it off here, you get a 7-year warranty, multi-award-winning electric car, 5-star Euro NCAP rating, 0 road tax. That's what we like, 0 road tax. Sat nav, as you'd expect, 8-inch colour screen TV, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, depending on what you've got. So yeah, it's absolute cracking. Oh yeah, I'll open the door for you. There you go. Look, have a look inside there. It is fantastic.
That's MG5. That's going to launch in very soon in November.
MG5 there on the back is going to launch very soon. That's what we like to hear. Do we have a date for UK launch or breaking news? I don't want to get you in trouble. But if you've got an exclusive for me, I'll take it. MG5 then, you heard it here first. How good is that? Live Sport Now, there's a link in the body of this broadcast. Give it a click. That's the place to come watch motorsport. Right, that is it from us here at MG Live. We are going to head off for the rest of the day. So thank you so much for tuning in to our coverage this weekend. You've got to come to MG Live next year if you haven't been this year. And if you have been, you've got to come back. It's a real festival here at Silverstone. It's been an incredible weekend. I'm actually just a little bit sad to leave. It's the longest 20 seconds of all time. Hello everybody. Yeah, that was MG Live, and I think I caught the lady a little bit by surprise there. She showed us around a range of cars. We have a habit of doing that, don't we? Now we come back to assembly area, as you can see, because the midget sprite cars, they've gone out on track. I've said we're not going to cover that race. We are waiting for the BCV8s to be called. They'll be called very, very shortly. But one thing that we do here at Live Sport Now is we like to engage with you as the viewers, as the fans, as the family, as the friends, and we want to hear from you. We've had a number of comments come in, so let's just cycle through some of them on screen. This is, you can have your say. This could be you right now. If you head over to Live Sport Now on YouTube, there's a link in the body of this broadcast. Hit subscribe, and in the chat section, if you comment, we can put it on screen. Of course, only if it's a nice comment. We don't like nasty comments, but hey, look, we're open to honesty as well. If you think we're rubbish, tell us we're rubbish. We just won't show it on screen. If you think we're great, tell us we're great, and we'll definitely show it on screen. Right, BCV8's coming up next. Do tell us where you're watching from. We want to know. Get some support in. Get your messages of support in. This is your show. We are Live Sport Now. We bring you closer to the action than anybody else does. It is going to be a cracker. Now, as I said, BCV8 Championship coming up very shortly. No Wally News in the field today. He took a double bubble up at Silverstone last time out, but it was James Wheeler who took pole position. In fact, we can show you that image now, actually, how qualifying finished up for the BCV8s, and James Wheeler is looking like a man ready for this challenge. It's going to be difficult because there is a lot of moisture in the air. It is still raining. It's not horrifically wet, but it's enough to make people think twice. So that's how qualifying finished a little bit earlier for the BCV8 Championship. Now this morning, Let's take that image down. This morning we went for a little walkabout before they even went for qualifying, just have a little look at how the drivers are feeling, how the conditions might affect how they set up. I spoke to Ken Deemer, I spoke to Ian Price, I spoke to James Wheeler, and here's a little look at what they had to say earlier this morning before going out in these conditions in qualifying. Roll VT. Walk through the BCV8 to see if there's anybody up here we can grab a quick word with. In fact, we've got Ken Deemer up here. Let's go have a word with Ken. Always quite popular on social media. He certainly is qualifying for these guys in about half an hour or so. So let's just have a quick word with Ken over here. Good morning. You're watching the live stream, is that?
I think I've just seen you guys walk across here on my phone. I'm like,
he actually is. I was only joking as well. I'm very well. How are you feeling today? Because it's quite slippy out there, it looks like, doesn't it?
Yeah, when the weather's like this, you're never quite sure what tyres you should be on, but everyone's in the same boat. But I think, quali, we should be all right. I think the track's drying out.
It's a good track for these, isn't it, Donington?
Yeah, it's a great track. Crane of Curves is just brilliant to drive down. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
You need to get a little extra seat in there so I can be a passenger one day.
You never know, mate. I'll work on it.
Lovely. Cheers, Ken. Good to see you, mate. Good luck out there. Thanks for talking to us. Let's keep walking through over here. We've got the Wheelers over here. We always have a good chat with them. We've got Mr. Pryor over here as well. Let's have a quick word. You can't get away from me. You know me well enough by now. You can't get away. How you doing? You good?
All right. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
How you feeling ahead of qualifying? Because it might be a bit greasy out there.
Yeah, I think so. A bit slippery. Not very nice.
You're not like that?
No. I'd rather it was just raining or dry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The bit in between, I don't like.
These cars must be quite fun though around here. We just chatted to Ken, Crane Curves. Ooh, a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, it's let's see what happens.
I've got my brolly just in case.
You need it.
No, cheers. Let's keep going. Mr. Wheeler, James. The future right here.
Yes.
How are you feeling ahead of this one? Don't trip over your laces.
I know. I've got to put my socks on. Yeah.
Conditions today, these suit
I know.
Right
I don't mind the wet, but I like it if it's going to rain. Like, I hate this. Is it going to be wet? Is it going to be dry?
What Ian just said, actually.
Yeah. It's going to be wet. Get rain, and we can put the wets on, and we'll be happy.
Makes good viewing though. So what are you thinking right now? Wets, dries? It's got to be wet.
Dries at the moment.
Dries, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd have said dries because they're not slicks, so you can get a little bit of grip out of them in the wet. But no, it's going to be interesting. It levels it. The 400 brake horsepower against the 230 odd brake horsepower against the little B class 200 brake horse. It levels it all. So.
We've seen it before.
Who's going to be on pole?
Yeah. It is a cracker, and of course, when you're going to let little man have a go in one of these.
He's going out in a minute.
He's going to do the test for you. Cheers, James. Great to see you, mate. Let's keep going down, everybody. Let's keep moving through some of the BCV8 cars. Are you sure? Because I don't think they've started. So that was a little bit earlier today, as you can tell. As you can also tell, we still have no cars here for the BCV8 Championship. They won't be too long. They will be coming up, and they are running alongside, I think, a few of the Triple M cars too. So it's going to be a cracker. Let's go have a chat with some of the Marshals whilst we're waiting around, shall we? And have a good chat, because it is thanks to the Orange Army that we're actually able to go racing. We do often say it, don't we? It is a huge, huge thank you to everybody. Everybody normally runs when they see me come with a microphone, but he hasn't seen me yet. So let's go have a little chat over here. How you doing, buddy? We're coming for a little chat, because what you guys do is incredible, and we wouldn't be able to go racing if it wasn't for you. How did you get into marshalling?
Oh, I saw Taster Day advertised.
Fantastic, yeah. Whereabouts? What track? Where did you go to?
Here, Donington
At
Park.
Donington, yeah.
Yes.
And you'd enjoy it, have a good time with it, yeah?
Yes, I absolutely did.
Have you always been a motorsport fan?
Yes, I've always been a fan, since I was a boy.
Are you a Formula 1 fan?
Yes, I am.
Who's going to win tomorrow? All right, I won't hold it against you.
Yeah. So Max Verstappen.
Max Verstappen, yeah.
That's the lucky.
I've got a feeling Carlos Sainz is going to do it. That's what I think.
You sure?
Not 100%, no, but I think so. Look, thank you so much anyway. Really appreciate all the work you do. Keep going, it's fantastic stuff. Let's keep going down. Have a chat with everybody down here too, shall we? Guys, we've come for a chat. We've come for a chat because we've got no cars yet, so no cars. Look, we just want to say a big thank you, actually, because what you guys do is quite incredible. And I want to know, how did you get involved in marshalling? Start with you.
My dad and my brother started.
Oh, brilliant.
This is my first time today.
Is it? How are you finding it?
It's fun.
Everybody looking after you?
Everyone's great.
It's nice, isn't it? Because you get a real look at everything, sort of behind the scenes and stuff that you don't get to see the other side, isn't it? What's been the biggest? Has there been any particular challenges today? Or is it just everybody turning up late?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that it?
Just,
did you get to tell him off?
Just send them down a bit, mate.
Now, I've seen you quite a few times. This is you've marshalled 1 or 2 events before, haven't you? How did you get involved?
I got involved in 2013.
Yeah.
And because I like cars, I wanted to do something.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it, and I really enjoy it. It's the best voluntary job I've actually done.
Brilliant. Yeah. Every time I see you, you've always got a big smile on your face, you know, and it really lights up this assembly area. I'm not just saying that.
Yeah.
It really does. It makes a difference, doesn't it, for everybody too?
It does, yes. It
really
does,
does.
yes.
Well, look, thanks so much for talking to us, guys. Quick question: you Formula 1 fan?
Nope, I am not. It is far too politically rubbish.
True, true. Are you a Formula 1 fan? Dare I ask that?
Not really.
No.
It's just gone a bit too far the last few years.
That's it. Cheers, guys. Anyway, thank you so much.
On TV?
Live right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff for Dita. And as I mentioned, the cars are starting to come up as well. Big thank you to the Marshal. They are superb, aren't they? And I genuinely mean that. We've been coming to Donington for 4 or 5 years now. He's here every single event, and he's always got the biggest smile on his face. He really does. The cars are starting to come up now for the BCV8 Championship. Race 1 here, live at Donington Park. I'm going to try and not get run over. And let's go have a quick chat, shall we? Number 12 here. My first victim, I'm afraid. Is everything all right?
Yeah, fine, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it's going, fingers crossed.
I could work out if you get out of the car to get away from me then, or...
I tried.
I'm so sorry about that.
That's all right.
Look, qualifying, we know it was quite tricky out there, quite difficult conditions. We just had a bit of rain. We had a bit of rain overnight. Do you think that's going to make any impact, or was it not enough?
It wasn't enough, I don't think.
Right.
I haven't touched anything, I've just left it as it is.
And of course we've got the midget sprites to clean things up a bit
yeah,
too.
the track temp's quite warm, so I'm hoping, unless it really deluges down, shouldn't have to touch anything.
I mean, if we look at this, what's ahead of us, there's nothing there, is there?
No, there isn't, no. So it's fingers crossed, but until you go out, you don't know.
It's a fun track, Donington, right?
Love it. My favourite track of the All India circuit, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's a great circuit, this is.
I think I better let you do your Marshal duties. Cheers, thank you. Let's keep on going down, shall we? We've got car 34 down here as well. Because there's only 2 cars here, so they have to talk to me. They've got no choice. We do like the BCV8s. We've been covering the BCV8s for years now, haven't we? It really has been a cracking time with the BCV8 Championship. Looking forward to seeing, well, respect to James Wheeler here. Johnny Wheeler out, his father out in the field as well. Great racing, great fun. What could be better? Not a lot, I think. Either you're happy to talk to me, or you're going to kill me.
Maybe both.
Yeah, it depends what I asked, doesn't it? How was qualifying this morning? Because it looked quite tricky out there.
Well, it's first experience for me here at Donington. It's only my second race weekend, so
really?
It's really just.
Well, welcome. By the way.
Thank you very much. So it's great to just be learning and gaining experience, and yeah, it's all new to me. So it's great to be involved.
How did you get involved then? Because you don't just come by one of these, do you?
So there's a bit of history. My father raced MGAs back in the 80s.
Oh wow! Yeah.
And I finally sort of got to a stage in life where I wanted to have a go myself, and we looked at this championship really, and getting an MGB, and it's in the same colour that Dad's old MGA was in,
nice.
and so yeah, there's a bit of a a backstory, but yeah, I'm here to enjoy myself. I'm firmly at the back, but I'm getting great experience and learning, and yeah, looking forward to it.
Something about one of these in orange, isn't there? Something about it.
I'm pleased you think so.
Yeah, thanks so much for talking to us. Really enjoy it as well.
Thank
it's great
you.
to have you here.
Cheers.
It really
Thank
is.
you.
Let's move on a little bit, shall we? We've got Mr. Strike up here. So I think he might move on actually. So let's remember again for the BCV8 classes, to make sure we don't get run over. Oh no, we are going to stop here. There's some cracking stuff here. Look, I say ding dong here. You've got some great stickers on here.
Yeah, thank you. It makes it go faster, of course.
I'll tell you something, every time I see you, quicker and quicker and quicker. That's how it's going.
Hopefully, yeah. I think the problem is, having had 2 years of lockdown and not having much racing, then all of a sudden you're back into it. It takes a little while.
Yeah.
But the car's going really well at the moment. Perhaps I shouldn't have said that, but...
No, don't tell me. I won't say anything, because if I say it,
it's just unfortunate that there's not a few more of us in the class. Yeah. But James Walpole and I usually have a good battle. Yeah. So we'll see how we go today. I'm behind him, so
is this Donington? I always think it's a slightly better driver's track than say Silverstone last time. Is that right?
Yeah. It is really a good. It's a really good track, and it's really enjoyable to drive. Yeah. Silverstone in these cars, you're sort of waiting around a lot, sitting there down the back straight, and it goes on forever. And
did you bring a book here at Silverstone?
Well, you almost feel like doing that, to be honest. But it's I mean, I do like Silverstone, but this is it's much more fun. This.
Yeah. I think so. Look, thanks for talking to us. Best of luck out there.
Cheers, thank you.
Appreciate it. Let's keep on going down. Ken Deemer, we spoke to him a little bit earlier, didn't we? Steve Wells just coming past us too. Let's move along a little bit further, shall we? Hi, James. Oh yes, buddy. Oh yes. Let's grab Steve very quickly, actually, shall we? Because we don't often chat to Steve. Just let you get out, Steve, and then we'll have a little chin wag. I was going to say we don't talk enough,
Hello.
How are you doing? All
Good.
right?
Yes, thank you.
Right. How are you feeling ahead of this one? Because it's qualifying. We know was quite slippery.
Yeah, it wasn't
We've
enough
had a bit
time.
of a downpour, but I spoke to a few drivers. I don't think it was enough to really cause any issues.
No. I'm quite happy. Other than the fact I've lost third gear, so I'm yeah. If it's wet, it suits me because obviously I don't really need third gear. So. Yeah. The other guys will be tempted, but it'd be good fun. We didn't really have enough time in quali to put any laps in, so as soon as I started building speed up.
It is a short quali, it's like 15 minutes, isn't
15 minutes. Well, 15 minutes and half a dozen laps, I think. Yeah, that was it. So not enough time to do anything really. There we go.
Now you got a chance.
Now we've got a chance. Yes.
Good man. Cheers, Steve.
Squeeze myself in front of these.
Yes. Good man. Let's keep going down, shall we? Of course, we've got. Look at these cars. They are something else, aren't they? Let's go have a chat with John. Johnny, just getting yourself composed there. Is this a race ritual?
Not really. I'm just
trying
relaxing
to ignore
me, and making my way around the track in my head.
Your boy's done good, hasn't he?
Yeah, very, very good, very good. I think it's going to be a bit greasy out there.
Yeah.
So a bit slidey.
Tell me about the atmosphere in the paddock, because obviously we walked down before and James's kids are here, and it just looks like a lot. I know it's easy to say, and every championship says they're the friendliest championship in the world, etc., etc. But it's just fun, isn't it? It's just a nice place to spend the weekend.
BCV8 is really, really good. Yeah, really good. Friendly, Yeah. And then you get out on the track.
And it stays friendly.
Yeah.
Johnny, thanks for talking to
No worries.
Good to see you, pal. Take care. Let's keep moving down. I don't know how long's left on the race we've got going ahead. I wonder if I can be told. And we spoke to Ian Pryor a little bit earlier. We've got Andy Young here. He had a good race, didn't he? Neil Fowler, where's Neil? Oh, there's Neil. Let's go have a word with. We've got Andy and Neil over here. Let's have a chat. Neil, how are we doing?
Hello, mate.
It's good to see you again.
Yeah, Andrew.
No Ollie Neves this time.
No Ollie Neves, got rid of him.
You got rid of him. So you and James, this is the one, right?
Yeah, this is the one, yeah. I just need my gearbox to work, which, yeah.
We've seen a few times. We saw it at Silverstone, didn't we?
That
one
was,
lap.
Yeah, one lap in both races.
Can it make it?
Yeah, no, it's a different gearbox and always good in quali. So, I just want the track to dry out a little bit more. So it's just going to be a little bit...
Is it going to be that bad though? Because I spoke to a few drivers, and I know there's rain over lunch. We just had a little bit of a downpour now, but was it enough to really make a difference? I mean, the midgets will clear things up a little bit too, just as long as they don't dump any oil down.
Yeah, if sun stays out, it should be all right.
Yeah,
it should be all right. We're all in the same boat, so we're all on dry. So
you just want to open up though and go for it, don't you?
That's it. Yeah,
foot to the floor.
Hopefully we all have a good race. So that's the main thing.
I'm sure you will. Cheers,
Okay,
Neil. Best of luck. Enjoy it, won't you? I did want to speak to a few other drivers. There's Johnny. Here's Andy. Let's have a chat with him. I haven't forgotten about you, young man. Don't you worry about that. I can not talk to you. I just have got a plane going over. What are you going to do about these lot up ahead?
Well, I can't. There's no way I'm going to catch these. But you never know. Look, if it gets a bit greasy, new car, never been used in the wet. I've got no idea.
I mean, you'd probably like a bit of rain, actually, wouldn't you? Would that be all right?
I would like rain if I was on the right tyres.
Yeah. but then nobody would be on the right
No,
side.
so we're all in the same boat, whatever happens.
It's going to be fun, isn't it? It's going to be fun. Cheers, buddy. Take
Cheers,
care.
mate.
Enjoy it, won't you? Thank you. Right, not too much longer to go on the race ahead. Let's just get ourselves into position up here. We are going to watch the cars head out on track. The BCV8 Championship live here from Donington Park. So we've got 5 minutes or so to go before the midgets finish. And I do want you to hear these cars because they are absolute beauties. When we get your comments in, we can see them. We do want to hear from you. Multiple classes again for the BCV8 Championship. Whilst we just got a moment or so, let's just pop that qualifying order back up onto the screen for you so you can see how things finished up a little bit earlier today. As we've spoken about before, we do mention it a lot, but it has been a tricky days of weather, certainly for qualifying for everybody. But as you can see from your screen there, James Wheeler, the man on pole position in Class D, the Super Class Ds there. Neil Fowler, also Class D. Ian Pryor, also Class D. They are the big heavyweight V8s. That's the reason why Andrew Young saying, look, I'm not going to be able to catch the three in front. He's Class C, pole position for Class C. He's got Johnny Wheeler alongside him, also Class C, so that's going to be a big battle. Paul Eales is pole position in Class B, 6th place on the grid. Then you've got Oliver Wardle, Ken Deaver and Steve Wells, all Class C. Stuart Dickinson doesn't actually have a class. I think it might be, it's a twin cam MG, so I think it's actually, yeah, I can see it actually down there. So it's slightly different. I think it's kind of running in its own sort of class for that one. We've got Mark Scott, Class B. He's the Class B champion from last year too. In fact, he was a winner at Silverstone too. Steve Mackay, also Class B. Sean Holmes in the Invitational class lines up 13th. Jim Bryan, Class C, lines up 14th. James Walpole and David Strike. We just spoke to David Strike, didn't we? He was just saying him and James, the only drivers in Class A, B. There's normally more, but there's just two lining up 15th, 16th. Keep an eye on that one, because that'll be a good battle. Neil Cawthorne lines up 17th. Peter Milligan in 18th. We just spoke to him. And Simon Cripps, also Class D, at the back of the field. And he had a big issue, didn't he? In fact, he did put his 3 laps in, but he just put his 3 mandatory laps in. So keep an eye on Simon Cripps. He's in the MGB GT V8. That could go very fast indeed. That could certainly be one to watch. I would keep an eye out for that. The safety car is now just approaching as well. That's a good sign. That does mean it's going to come up very soon. The Midget Sprite Challenge race ahead is just about to finish up as well. Now, if you do want to find out more about the BCV8 Championship, you can. There is a link in the body of this broadcast. Give it a click and you can find out even more information. As you can see, the drivers just starting to get themselves ready for race 1 of the BCV8 Championship here. The atmosphere, the intensity is starting to build. I'm pretty confident it's going to be a dry race, but you've just got to be careful because there might be a corner or two with an extra bit of slipperiness out there which might just catch somebody out. Who knows? It's that difficult conditions. Now, I've got the safety car guys, but I'm going to have a quick word with them actually, and just guys, let's have a quick word. Is that all right? How's it been in the safety car today? We haven't seen too much of you guys yet, have we?
No, it's been fairly quiet today.
I mean, it's a funny job, isn't it? Because I mean this with every amount of respect possible, but we just don't want to see you.
No. No, we appreciate that.
Now, tell me about the safety car. When you're going out for each championship, do you have to go at a certain, I take it you have a certain speed limit requirement per championship, or is it just a general?
It depends on the clerks. They dictate what we do.
Do they tell you beforehand, or do they tell you via earpiece during the actual?
Earpiece.
Oh, do they? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Oh, that's quite nice. And this is just a standard road going MG, I take it, is it?
It is, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So I could take my Peugeot away. She's probably a bit slow. But thanks for talking to us anyway. I really do appreciate it. Good stuff there. A bit of insight there into the safety car. They don't know how fast they're going to be told to go. It comes through via an e-piece. Just a standard road going car, of course. I mean, it's not like they've got to keep up with Formula 1 cars, but they've still got a lot to do. Always interesting to chat to everybody. We've had a good old chat with the Marshals, and I'm telling you, by the way, the rain is now starting to come down quite heavy again here. Last minute downpour. There's a lot of blue skies about. I think it's just passing. I don't think it's going to be enough to really cause too much of a problem, but it might just, any wet patches on the track, it might just top them up for a few minutes, which again might cause an issue or two out there for these BCV8 cars. The MGBs, MGAs, wonderful stuff. So much history. You're looking at it all right now. What a beautiful sight, aren't they? Sorry, I'm just going to walk in front of the camera and just sort of fanboy out of it a little bit and just take a picture or two, because they do look good, don't they? They really do. And by the way, if you've never heard these before, one thing I'll tell you to do is turn your volume up, because these V8s, my word, it's like listening to Formula One. It really is. There we go. Good stuff indeed. So not too long to go. I wonder if I can get a call on the race ahead. It must be almost finished by now. I imagine checkered flags. The checkered flag has fallen for the Midget Sprite Challenge, so not long to go now, and we will have the cars going out for the BCV8 Championship Race 1. Now at the end of this race we are going to go to a short break, but then we're going to set up for one final broadcast. We're going to bring you 3 races in that broadcast. Race 2 of the Hickford Construction Limited MG Metro Cup and Church Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. Race 2 of the Cockshoot Cup, and of course race 2 here for the BCV8 Championship. A lot of excitement, a lot of atmosphere is building here. It's great to have people in the stands. I do appreciate I think there's something going on at Silverstone. Not too sure what. I've heard it's quite a popular event. I think this is better, but there you go. Now, if you want to find out more about the BCV8 Championship, there is a link in the body of this broadcast. Do give it a click. Find out all the information. Get involved with the BCV8s too. You don't have to be a driver. You want to volunteer. You want to find out about the rest of the race calendar. And if you want to have your say during this race as well, head over to Live Sport Now on YouTube. Just like the BCV8 website, there is a link in the body of this broadcast. Give it a click. Take you straight through to Live Sport Now on YouTube. Do hit subscribe and we can show your comment on screen. Tell us where you're watching from. Tell us who you're supporting. No Ollie Neves here this weekend, so we're going to have a different winner in Class D from Silverstone. Who's it going to be? Can Neil Fowler there in the red 86 car get the better of James Wheeler in the yellow 99 car? What about Ian Pryor in the green car just behind as well? They're all Class D. And Andrew Young there in 68 Class C. I had an absolute flyer, didn't he? Eels going well for Class B too. So multiple classes. We're going to have multiple winners. Who's going to be the outright winner? It's going to be a Class D car. It's going to probably come from either Neil Fowler, James Wheeler or Ian Pryor. It could be somebody else. Simon Cripps lines up right at the back in his Class D car. Had issues in qualifying, but expect him to start flying through the field very quickly. 20-minute race about to come up very shortly. In fact, the Midget Sprite cars, they're just making their way back into the pit lane now. We'll get the signal to go racing very soon. They'll go round behind the safety car, do a formation lap, line up, and then it'll be time for lights out of the BCV8 Championship Race 1 here at Donington. A lot more action still to bring you this afternoon. Right into the evening. I think the last race we're doing is actually with the BCV8s today at 5:20, so we're going to be on camera till about 6 o'clock or so this evening. We really hope you've enjoyed the coverage. Check us out, www.livesportnow.uk for sports content. Not just sports content, believe it or not, we actually moved into auctions as well, so we're in the property sector too. Do check us out. Live, recorded, management, content creation, you name it. That's exactly what we do. It's exactly what we're here for. We have a passion for motorsport, we have a passion for sport, we have a passion for golf, we have a passion for football. We bring you the Men's and Women's Premier Handball League. We have a passion for content and creating it in the best possible way. So far in this broadcast, we saw the Cockshoot Cup. We saw Paul Wignall win race 1 there. We've spoken to the Marshals. We've spoken to the safety car drivers. We've spoken to the BCV8 drivers. And it is almost time now as the cars start to fire up for them to head out on track. You see the ambulance just behind down the back straight here at Donington, just standing the fire rescue vehicle, just making sure everything's safe, making sure there's no issues, and then we'll get things underway. And the sun just starts to come out again too. It's very, very unpredictable weather right now. We've got a bit of movement here. Car 36 has been pushed towards us. As you can tell, it's sort of in its own class, really. And we can't get it going. They're struggling to get it fired up. Of course, we do have, this is the MGCC BCV8 Championship with the MGCC MGAs. This is one of those MGAs. Unfortunately, I actually can't tell you who it is because I don't have number 36 listed. No good. I think they've killed it. Let's hope they don't have to give up with this. Even in the programme, I don't have a number 36 listed with the MGA, so I actually, apologies, but I don't know who it is. I can tell you there's a strong smell though, isn't there, Liam, coming out of fuel.
Leave the pump off so we don't flood the car.
Now they're going to give it another push here. So number 36 of the MGA struggling to get going. The 1 minute board goes up, so the engines of the BCV8 cars start to fire up. Number 36 is going to get a push start again. Can they get this one fired up? Let's have a look. Go on, go on, go on. Oh, it's just not starting, no. And the car's made a way out on track, led by James Wheeler. There goes Neil Fowler, Ian Friday, Andy Young going through, Johnny Wheeler there as well. The rest of the cars are now making their way out onto track. Time for the BCV8 Championship, race 1 here live at Donington Park. We're going to make our way into position. And just as once again the weather starts to get quite nice, we're going to make our way down. Once again, we're going to bring you the action from the Goddard Suite at the top. It's the best view we can give you, right in the heart of the action. That's what we do here at Live Sport. Now, whilst we make our way down, it is time for the BCV8 Championship. Let's have a little look at what the BCV8 is all about. Roll BT. Well, I'm pleased to say, as you can see, the MGA we saw trying to get bump started has managed to fire up, so it will take the start of this race. And that's exactly what we want. Just whilst the car's making their way back down the back straight, let's just pop that qualifying grid order up onto the screen for you. And it's going to be a Class D powerhouse fight, isn't it, between James Wheeler, Neil Fowler, Ian Pryor. Keep an eye out on Simon Cripps as well. He starts at the back, but he is Class D. He's going to come through the field very quick. James Wheeler, number 99, the yellow car. Neil Fowler, the red car, and Ian Pryor, the green car, all Class D. But don't discount Andrew Young. He doesn't quite have the power. Johnny Wheeler as well in the yellow 61. That's James's father. They're both Class C. That's a great fight, that one is. And the cars starting to line up now, as you can see here at Donington Park. 20 minutes of BCV8 heavyweight action here. Strap yourself in for a thriller, because that is exactly what this is about to be. Don't go anywhere. Don't look anywhere but here. So the red lights will go on. Once the lights go out, it will be time for racing. Number 36 in the MGA, I'm delighted to say, is going to start from the pit lane. James Wheeler, Neil Fowler. The board goes up. The red lights will come on. And then when they go out, we will be racing here live at Donington Park. We know Fowler's a lightning start, gearbox issues, scuppered him at Silverstone. Looks like it's a good start again from Fowler. What about Wheeler? In fact, it is going to be James Wheeler. I think he's going to lead into Redgate here at Donington Park. What can Ian Pryor do? And it looks like it's going to be 1, 2, 3, as it was from the grid. Oh no, but it looks like Ian Pryor dived down the inside of Fowler, but Fowler just holds on, and Young holds on to 4th place too. So it's James Wheeler who leads in Class D, and outright from Neil Fowler in 2nd, Ian Pryor in 3rd, Andrew Young currently in 4th place, and the leader in Class C. Wow, wow, wow. Good, safe start. In fact, we haven't seen, touch wood, I know it's still relatively early, there's still got the second batch of races to go, but we haven't seen any incidents into turn 1 yet, the start of any of the races yet. Fingers crossed. So it is Wheeler. It is, oh, and Johnny Wheeler's got past Young as well. So Johnny Wheeler's now up into 4th place on track, but 1st place in Class C. That matters. That is important. Right, here we go. Car's now heading down the back straight here at Donington. What can Fowler do now? Can he get on the power quickly? That light you see, that headlight ablaze, that is James Wheeler. He's your race leader, Class D, but Fowler looking like he might have a little sniff into the chicane. We're going to see very, very soon here at the end of the lap. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be yellow? Is it going to be red? It is red. Oh my word, Fowler's done it. Fowler, Neil Fowler takes the lead of the race in the BCV8 Championship from James Wheeler. Listen to this noise. My word, it's just like being at the F1, isn't it? So it is Fowler in the lead. He's got past James Wheeler. Ian Pryor stays in 3rd. Johnny Wheeler goes up to 4th place and the leader in Class C. Then Andy Young drops down to 5th. We've got Wells in 6th, Steve Wells, Jim Bryan in 7th, Eels in 8th. He's your Class B leader. Wardle is 9th. Ken Deemer is 10th. Scott is 11th. Mackay is 12th. Holmes in 13th. Strike in 14th. Walpole 15th. So Strike moves into the class lead in Class A-B against James Walpole. That's important. 14th on track. Walpole in 15th, Cawthorne in 16th, Milligan in 17th, and Dickinson in 18th. We've just got a Ryanair jet coming over. We are right by Nottingham Airport, aren't we? Or is it East Midlands or Nottingham or something like that? We are literally right on the flight path. It's quite a nice feature of Donington Park here. The car's coming down the back straight. Ian Pryor's right in the mix, by the way. In fact, they are 1, 2, 3. So close indeed. Pryor's right in this too. We're going to have this battle for the next 17.5 minutes. This is what we like to see. Who's going to come through? It should be Fowler in red. Only just, look at him. There's nothing to choose between them. This is what we want. This is club racing at the very, very best. The screaming V8s, thunder past. They rattle us. They vibrate. My feet go shaking. And it looks like Pryor's going to try and go down the inside of Wheeler, but it's not quite to be this time. Young's having a little look at Johnny Wheeler as well, and he makes it. So Young goes back into the lead in Class C. What a thriller we've had. And we're only 2 laps deep. So fastest lap of the race, Ian Pryor on that time round, a 1:20.150. It is a dry track now. Oh, they make such a good sound, don't they? But Fowler just holding on, but there's no breathing space between any of these guys, the top three. Look at them. Look how close Wheeler is. It looked like Wheeler actually had a better run out of the right-hander there. It's still Fowler in the lead as they're going to come down the back straight here at Donington Park. We're on the national circuit, the faster one, a 1:20.150, the current fastest lap of the race. 16 minutes left on the clock. Oh, this could be 3 hours, and it would absolutely fly by. It's that good. Here they come through the chicane now. Oh, look how close Wheeler is. Look, he's going to try and have a little look. Is Fowler going to hold him off? No, Fowler wants the actual line going into turn one, but can Wheeler be late on the brakes? He's going to try, no, he's going to tuck in and think better of it this time round. Now, Young still in 4th place. So Young is your current Class C leader. That's Andrew Young from Johnny Wheeler, who's in 2nd place. Let me just have a little look. Steve Wells currently in 6th place. He's also in Class C. Jim Bryan is going very well too. He's also in Class C. Then we've got Ollie Wardle. He's also Class C. And then it looks like Eels, number 12. That's Paul Eels. He is your Class B leader at the minute as it stands. Dickinson made a move on Cawthorne on that last lap too. So Dickinson up to 16th, Cawthorne down to 17th, Milligan in 18th. 15 minutes of this race to go. And I just don't have a clue who's going to win any of the classes right now. Strike still ahead of Walpole in Class AB. So Strike's your leader in Class AB. Fowler's your leader in Class D. Eels is your leader in Class B. And Young is your leader in Class C. That's the breakdown of how it's currently looking in this race with 15 minutes left to go. Clouds starting to gather a little bit too. The rain is not finished for today either. And it's still, look how close they go. It's still Fowler from Wheeler. At the minute, Fowler's record with sort of mechanical issues has not been good so far. He's managing to hold it together. He just said he's got a new gearbox in that car. The one at Silverstone couldn't complete more than 1 lap. So he's done a lot of work since then and it's paying off at the minute. I've just had Wardle going through. There goes Eels through as well. And Ken Deemer too. So it looks like this, your top 18, Fowler, Wheeler, Pryor, Young, then Johnny Wheeler, Wells, Bryan, Wardle, Eels, Deemer. We've got Mark Scott going over the line, last year's Class B champion. At the minute, it's Eels leading the way. Mackay in 12th, then Holmes in 13th. Strike and Walpole go in toe-to-toe. That's a really good battle to keep an eye on, by the way. That is for Class AB honours. There is literally 4/10 of a second to choose between Strike and Walpole. David Strike in 14th, Ollie Walpole in 15th, Class AB honours. And I'm starting to feel once again more spits of rain. Johnny Wheeler, look at that, lights ablaze. He is tucked up right behind the back of Neil Fowler, but he's just too far back, surely heading into the chicane. Ian Pryor sticking around as well. And it's like Young just pulling away a little bit from Johnny Wheeler too. And Johnny Wheeler's actually got Steve Wells for company as well. Oh, the sound they make, oh my word. It's like being a kid again, isn't it, when you got your toy cars. You're like, right, here comes 68, that's Andrew Young, he's your Class C leader. Johnny Wheeler just behind, so these three, 1, 2, 3 in Class C. Steve Wells starting to put a bit of pressure, it looks like, on Johnny Wheeler as well. The clock ticks over 2 o'clock here. We are going to be sticking around for the rest of the day as well. Here comes Mark Scott in the yellow 49 car through. Here goes Steve Mackay just coming through too. There's Holmes and Holmes. Right, there is Strike and Walpole, 9 and 16 respectively. Again, that matters. They're in a battle between each other too for Class AB honours. And already it looks like Johnny Wheeler's alongside. I thought it was alongside Neil Fowler there. They're just pulling away a little bit, aren't they, from Ian Pryor last time round. James Wheeler, fastest man on the track at 1:18.376. Only slightly faster, and I mean slightly faster than Fowler, who did a 1:18.381. That's almost nothing to choose between them. And it's Wheeler who takes the lead. Once again, what a great battle it is between these two, but James Wheeler managed to get past into the chicane, and he's just holding off He's holding off Fowler there. He's going to take a tighter line into Redgate. Is that going to compromise him as he gets round? That's going to give Fowler a better run, surely. Let's keep an eye on that as they go through the Crane of Curves. That's going to be one to watch out for. And it looks like, oh, I just saw Johnny Wheeler's getting a little bit out of sorts coming out of the final chicane. That's going to allow Steve Wells, as you can see, to close up right to the back of him. That matters. That's for second place in Class C. But not quite this time. The weather is starting to turn a little bit, as you can probably tell. Once again, the rain is starting to come, big fat drops, and I can tell you, James Wheeler did manage to hold on to the lead of the race from Fowler. So Wheeler still leading from Fowler. We've got, how long have we got left? 11 minutes on the clock. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun, my word. So Strike still holding on from Walpole, but Walpole was right there. It still Eels the leader in Class B. So your classes look like this at the minute. James Wheeler leader in Class D. Andrew Young the leader in Class C. There they go, there's your two race leaders, look. Paul Eels is your leader in Class B, and David Strike is your leader in Class AB. That's how things currently are looking out on track here at Donington at the minute. So your 4 race winners, of course, multiple classes, of course. It is James Wheeler outright leader, and in fact he did last time out a 1:18.118, fastest lap of the race so far, held by James Wheeler. Johnny Wheeler still just holding off Steve Wells. It's just perhaps allowing Andrew Young to get a little bit of a lead. Young 4th place on track. But first in Class C. So your 18 runners and riders look like this. It's James Wheeler, then Neil Fowler, then Ian Pride, Andrew Young, then Johnny Wheeler, then Steve Wells, Jim Bryan, Ollie Wardle, Paul Eels in 9th, then Ken Deemer, then Mark Scott, Steve Mackay. We've got Holmes in 13th, Dickinson in 14th, David Strike 15th, Walpole in 16th, Cawthorne in 17th, Milligan in 18th. So we now have less than 10 minutes of this race to go. Oh, and there's been a change. It looks like Walpole has got past Strike. So Walpole takes the lead in Class AB. Walpole's past Strike, so that is important because that is for first place in Class AB. So Walpole past Strike, the 15th, 16th on track respectively. And it was just as we started to have a few of the leaders coming through the traffic too. Wheeler still in the lead by 0.634 of a second from Fowler. Prize 8.375 seconds further back from there. Here comes Young over the line now. Car number 68, Andrew Young, leader in Class C. Johnny Wheeler just doing enough to hold off Steve Wells at the minute. So they're 1, 2, 3 in Class C. Andrew Young, Johnny Wheeler and Steve Wells. Jim Bryan coming over the line as well. That's actually not black, that car. I think it's a real deep shade of green. I think Jim showed us once, gave us a bit of a tour of it. There's Ollie Wardle. There is Paul Eels, car number 12. He is your Class B leader. Keeping up quite well with Class C of Ollie Wardle, isn't he? So, lap times come down a little bit. That last time around from Wheeler was a 1:19.273. It was 4/10 of a second faster though than Fowler, who did a 1:19.698. So far fastest lap. To let you know, it's over a second off the fastest lap in this race so far. So we know tyres are an issue. They do start to go off, and it does look like there goes James Wheeler, there goes Neil Fowler. James Wheeler just, I mean, it's the tiniest of margins, isn't it? In fact, it's 0.815 of a second, the gap between first and second. There's not a lot in it at all. And Ian Pride just getting past Walpole and Strike, and Walpole still the Class AB leader. Eels still the Class B leader, and Young still the Class C leader. Because Sean Holmes running in the Invitation Class 2, but he's the only one. And there goes Bryan. Jim Bryan last year had that big shunt, didn't he, at Alton Park. At least they managed to, he was okay, managed to get the car sorted too. But now that's Ollie Wardle and Paul Eels there. They're actually different classes. Ollie Wardle, Paul Eels is Class B, Ollie Wardle is Class C, but as you can see, Eels is certainly keeping Wardle honest there. There goes Ken Deemer. Ken Deemer also running in Class C. they come now. There goes Mark Scott. There goes Johnny Wheeler. There goes James Wheeler. There goes Neil Fowler, apologies. Just coming through traffic now, of course, aren't they? So it can be quite confusing at the time. We've got 6.5 minutes left on the clock. Things looking like they're just perhaps settling down just a little bit now. I wonder if the tyres are starting to have a bit of an effect. What a race we've had, by the way. Neil Fowler got into the lead on race 1. He just has not been able to hold James Wheeler back. And that looks like Walpole going slow. It is Walpole going so. Strike has got back into the lead of Class AB. So just when I say it's like things are settling down a little bit, no, David Strike goes into the lead in Class AB. Looks like Ollie Wardle came out of the chicane here very slow indeed. So either he's had a problem, let's hope he doesn't have a problem, or he just got a little bit out of sorts and lost a hell of a lot of momentum coming out of the chicane. So Strike leader in Class AB, James Wheeler leader in Class D. That's the big heavyweight V8s, the big ones, the loud ones. Of course, there's the V8s all through. It is the BCV8 Championship, of course. Andrew Young, your leader in Class C. Paul Eales, your leader in Class B. Strike and Walpole, the only changes. David Strike, now your leader in AB. That's been a great battle, by the way. It's not always what's happening at the sharp end with Class D. There's a lot going on. It does look like now Fowler is just dropping back. There goes your race leader, James Wheeler, in the yellow MGB there in the GTV8. And it's looking like he is absolutely starting to pull away just a little bit from Neil Fowler. Ian Pryor just a little bit further back, a little bit lonely actually, it looks like, for Ian Pryor, currently running in 3rd place. He is 13 seconds behind James Wheeler, has the lead of this race outright at the minute. So Strike just coming through, still leading Walpole quite comfortably. Young now just about to come over the line, 4th place. Car number 68 is your leader in Class C, 4th place on track. Just to let you know, for Ian Pryor, he is 11 seconds behind Neil Fowler in 2nd, and he is the grand total of 25 seconds ahead of Andrew Young. But the rain is really steaming down quite heavy now, isn't it? No one's gone for the wets here. They've all gone for dries. That's the right call, really. We've only got 4.5 minutes left on the clock here. It's going to have to rain heavier than this for it to cause any real issues for the end of this race. Might make drivers think twice ahead of the 2nd race later in the day, but we're quite away from that yet. That gets underway, I believe, at about 5:20. Conditions are going to vary quite a bit from then on. Oh, I could tell you something. I say that, James Wheeler just behind us, he's just got really out of sorts coming into the chicane. That's going to allow Fowler to close the gap a little bit. We've got yellow flags. We've got yellow flags at the top round Redgate. I wonder what that's for. I heard something. I heard some squealing or something. Perhaps the track, perhaps I'm wrong. The track is getting quite slippy, I think, now with this rain. It is coming down consistently now. And I don't think we've got yellows anymore. I think everybody's going back round again, so I think we're okay. But James Wheeler, it looked like, got a little bit out of sorts coming out of the final chicane. Mark Scott has got past Dima. Oh, I think it was Ken Dima who got a bit out of sorts around Redgate because he's dropping down the order quite quickly. So Ken Dima, we think, might have just left the track a little bit. I think he's still circulating, but he's dropped from 10th all the way down to 14th. Let's hope he's still out on track. Let's keep an eye out. It's a red car. Oh, we've got a spinner at the top as well. We've got a spinner at the top. I think it might be Milligan. I could be wrong. This rain is really starting to come down. Just when I thought it's not going to play a huge issue, it's really starting to get quite heavy now.
He's going.
He's going again, and I think it looked orange, didn't it? So I think it's Milligan. Oh, Johnny Wheeler's dropping down the order as well. So Steve Wells up to 5th place. Jim Ryan. Oh, it's all changed here. This is huge drama at the end of the race. We've only got 2.5 minutes left on the clock, and suddenly the rain has come down. The heavens have opened, and it's completely changed the outlook of this race. There goes Johnny Wheeler. He's dropped down the order a little bit. Unfortunately, it looks like Ken Dima has left the track because he's plummeted down the order. There goes Paul Hill. He's still leading the way. And look at James Wheeler as he comes over. These cars are wriggling around now, trying to get traction down. The water's playing havoc with them. They're in dry settings, of course. It's still under checkered flag has fallen, and they've called it early with 2 minutes to go. Once again, the checkered flag has fallen early. And they've put a sign up saying rain, so they've called the checkered flag because of the rain. I mean, it might actually be a sensible decision, as we've seen the last few minutes, have been chaos. It's been drama, hasn't it? It really has. All the cars we know, they've all been set up for dry conditions, so it's certainly played a factor, isn't it? James Wheeler, though, is your outright winner. He's the Class D winner. Neil Fowler comes home in second. Ian Pryor in third. Young is just coming over the line now, and it's going to be Andrew Young. He is your Class C winner. Congratulations to him. And it looks like Paul Eales is going to be your Class B winner. It's just between Strike. Here comes David Strike now. He's going to come over the line, and he takes the win in Class A-B. Congratulations to him. Sean Holmes drops down the order a little bit too. A few more cars just to come over the line. There goes Jim Bryan over the line to finish up. He finishes 5th on track. And actually from almost nowhere, because Wells has had a penalty, so Steve Wells has had a penalty. Jim Bryan from almost nowhere finishes 2nd in Class C. Fantastic. Congratulations to Jim Bryan. Walpole just coming over the line now as well, finishing 15th on track, 2nd in Class A-B to David Strike. Right, let's pop TSL up onto the screen for you so you can see how things have finished. What a heap of drama we've just seen here live at Donington Park. It has been an absolute cracker, it really has. It's a fantastic opening 10 minutes. Things started to settle down for a couple of laps until the rain said, let's spice things up a little bit. The rain came down, but James Wheeler mastered the conditions and takes the win here. There he goes underneath into the pit lane. There goes Neil Fowler, comes home in 2nd place. I'll tell you something, race 2, that's going to be an absolute thriller. You don't want to miss it. You don't have to. It's coming up at 5:20. We will be live here at Donington Park for that one as well. My word, have we had drama here. So the flatbeds and everything just making their way around. We lost, sadly, Ken Deemer from that race as well. But the BCV8 Championship race 1 is complete. It's James Wheeler, your outright winner. Andrew Young, your Class C winner. Paul Eales, your Class B winner. And David Strike, your Class A-B winner. Congratulations to all of the Class winners. Now, we are going to head off for a short break, but we've got so much more racing action to bring you. 3 more races to come this afternoon. We've got race 2 of the Hickford Construction Limited MG Metro Cup and Cherish Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. That's the combined grid. Then we've got race 2, the Cockshoot Cup, and then we have race 2 of the BCV8 Championship. All live, all in the next broadcast. Don't go far. We'll see you soon.